Welcome back to our channel, and today is a must-know video about tips for parents and children when they're coming in for their first ever piercings. So your child's under 16, but they want to get pierced, which is fair enough. You know, you want to get late. You all the school friends are getting, blinged up, and you want your child to be, part of the tribe there as well, which is fantastic. Now, the first thing to know and get your child to be aware of, that with beauty comes pain. So there will be a slight element of pain and discomfort. Talk to your child about that. Say it's going to be momentary, but it's something that they will have to ride the wave as such. Obviously afterwards you can give them some ibuprofen. Make sure they've eaten as well once they're coming in for their piercing. Now, the second thing to do at home is get to have a look at your child's lobes, because once you come in, suddenly it's the first time ever you've seen your child's lobes, believe it or not. It's not something we will focus on. We don't even focus on our own lobes. You'll spend ages suddenly thinking, oh gosh, my child's lobes are slightly different on both sides. We are not symmetrical biologically. Some people are lucky. A few percentage are, but one ear is always higher than the other. If you're happy, what you can do to save time is even mark up, even though once you're inside the clinic, we will clean the ears again. But if you've got a tiny mark there, that might help. Point 3. Deep breath, deep breath. Mommy, I want to kiss it! Make sure your child and you are calm and composed. Please don't take this the wrong way. We have some parents that find, obviously that's your little prince or princess that's coming in, and you are getting anxious. You don't want your child to, suffer unduly, but there is an element of discomfort, and sometimes it's all in the mind, believe it or not, because the piercing is only going to take seconds. Once you need your child to be ready. You need yourself to be ready. If you need a bit of support, bring a friend in. If you've got a little teddy or something that the child sort of like gets comfort in, make sure they bring that little comfort blanket inside with them. We're more than happy to meet the child's needs in order to be comfortable. Obviously, we have loads of little distracting little, light up balls and this, that, and the other. But please, you need to be composed, because it can go wrong, and if it goes wrong, we don't want an injury towards your child or even towards us. Imagine the child knocks a needle and we end up pricking ourselves. We don't want that. Point 6, which leads on, is be conscious of time, because sometimes this is the reason why we are reviewing parents and children, is that they, other than the hysterics, suddenly there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians as such. There's too many people putting their input in, and suddenly before you know it, a half hour, 40 minutes has gone by, and we haven't even started the piercing. Okay. Now, point 7, and this is a real must, okay? I know you want to celebrate a child's birthday, or perhaps a wedding, or I don't know, Christmas, with these landmark occasions with a piercing, but don't do them on the day or the day before. Okay, do them at least a couple of days before, because there is going to be that element of discomfort, and you don't want your child on their big day, on their birthday, to be suffering as a result of having a piercing. There will be some discomfort, like I said. So to do it a day or two before or a day or two afterwards, it's fine. Just don't do it on the day. Because for them to go home and suddenly start having to be happy and all the rest of it, and all they want to do is lie down and it's not going to work. Okay. Point 8. The day you get your child to come in, or even yourself to get your procedure done, don't build a massive itinerary around it. We're based in central London, so there's loads to do. People suddenly book musicals and they go on tours to Madame Tussauds or wherever else they're going. Think of your piercing as a minor procedure. So after a minor procedure, what would you do? Yes, you could go to a restaurant to celebrate, or watch a film, because you're sitting by yourself, you're sitting in, you're not doing too much activity. But anything heavy going with is, loads of traveling and trapezing up and down, no. Do it the day before or the next day. Point 9. A piercing is very similar to having a baby, in the respect that even though your child might cry and they might be a bit dramatic because you might have promised them something else after the piercing, the minute they see their piercing, once they have it and they've seen it, they're going to forget all they can. Honestly, they will be so over the moon. If they genuinely want that piercing, they will be over the moon once they see their piercing. So don't worry about any sort of setbacks there. A piercing ultimately depends on aftercare. So it's a journey when you go through a piercing. The aftercare there's a link. Remember, watch the other video about aftercare. But basically, it's going to involve cleansing twice a day. Depending on your child's age, you're going to have that duty of care. So just be on the ball, get your child to obviously clean their ears. But the must thing that your child must do is not to flipping touch their piercings other than when they're cleaning them and with their clean hands, okay? Or your clean hands. Now, bonus tip is this. Buy a couple of retainers at home, because we don't know what your child's school policy will be. Maybe they're allowed to keep them in for during normal times, but they might not be able to keep them in during times of PE or swimming or something. So have a few retainers just in case you need to take the piercing out and you want to maintain the hole in case it closes. So that's it. Those are all your crucial tips when it came to piercings. If you like what you saw, hopefully you did. I know it wasn't the most exciting video, but it is an absolute must. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And remember, I'm Nasila, and if you want to see any videos, just let us know in the comments below, and we'll be happy to try and do them. Remember, if you can pinch it, we can pierce it, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye.